Absolutely. Kidding you are, to tether, with your cardinus and goat a long nose. How we shall complete that white paper? Two venustas, big as stiff. Queer, but go on. Be trues and whole trues, otherwise, Frank Sean, we pursued what would be the autobiography of your soft-bodied fumiform. Hooray most. None whomsoever, Sean replied, heavenly blank. He had intended and was peering now rather close to the paste of his rubiny winklering, though it ought to be more or less romantical, by the wag. How is Mr. Fry? All of it, I might say, in ex voto pay and perks, and wooden halfpence, some rhino, joyous rhine, was handled over spontaneously by me, and bundle end to my ill-wishers, Miss Anders. She wore her wraiths of ruins the night she lost I left, in the lig name of Mr. Van Houten of Treadcastles, clown-talking timberman, among my prodigates, nabobs, and nevios, of every subscription entitled the bois, in the bascour of evicted tenements. What I say is, and I am knowing Rohorn of Colkit permit me to tell you, of if uniformed I never spont it, nor have I the grest of ination on me the way to. It is my rule, so it went away like hot potatoes bag. And this brings me to my fresh point, quonium. I am as plain as portable enveloped in how much you will now probably receive care of one Moussiere Guinness's registered, and Duter's bowels. Quick take 'em, whiff it, and drain it. Now. Soviet, we responded. Song. Sean, song. Have mood. Hold forth. I apologize, Sean began, but I would rather spinooze you one from the grim guests of Jacko and Aesop. Fable 1. Fable 2. Let us here consider the cases, my dear little cousins. Hustan hasten coffin tusem daman dumnak sokusag hob bix hat ux pes which pes cashel karat of the Aunt and the Grace Hopper. The Grace Hopper was always jigging a jog, hoppy on account of his joyosity. He had a partner fair, of Findle stilts to supplant him. Or if not, he was always making ungraceful overtures to Flo and Luz, and Beanie and Vespatella, to play pooper and policy, and lang tanners and push picked-em, and to commence insects with them. Their mouthparts to his overface, and his gambles to their airy processes, even if only enchased among the everlistings. Behold a whispering pot. He would have cursed, maliciously, by his four feelers, flexors, contractors, depressors, and extensors, lamely, harry me, marry me, bury me, bind me, till she was puce for shame, and also fourmish her in spinner's housery at the earth's best shopping hour, so summary as his cottage, which was called Fourmiller, really. Ting something to ting, groped up, or if he was always striking up funny funerals with best father, Zoit's the aged one, with all his wig-eared Corollas, albinous and all buoyant inside his electrical worm casket and dahlia and peona, his drooping nymphs beweeding him compound eyes, on hornet sow head, and owl letty plussy butts, to scratch his cacumen and cackle his transitus. Diver Deborah, 7 bowls of sapo, a lick of lime, 2 spirts of phosphor, 3 furts of sulph, a shake of sugar, those grains of Mignus, and a messful of midcap pitches. The wool of the wall in the wheel of the wall, in the boo-boo from Buniam, has thus come to Tyon, and with tambourans and cantorids, so turning around his eggshell, rock coats the dance, macabre in retrophobia. Beck from bulk, like fantastic Disost and Jenny Aprils, do the ra, the ra, the ra, the ra, langsome heels and langsome toesies, attended to by a mutter of Duffmat, waxing much and the myrmidons of Psiolas, singing satyrs candlentade, nice and dumbly sod, we a while, but ho time, Finnegans Wake. For if scientium, what's that? Can mutus not a thought about the great somebody with the omnibus? Bo hops, an artist chord, hoots, might sing tum tim about the little newbodies that ring his panch. A high old tide for the bar-heated publics, and the whole day is gratis. Fodder and lightning for Ali Luti, any filly in a fog, for Ocronian lags a-crumbling in his sands. But his sons still tumble on, everything above ground, as his book of breathings bid him, so was every why. Sham or shunner, zeem liangli to kick time. Gracious me and scourb my sahul, what a bagatella it is. Libellulus, Inzanzerati, poo, pshla, patu. What a sight for the Goths, vented the unto, not being a summer fool, was thoughtfully making chilly spaces at his fecker front of the icing glass of his windame, which was cold anti-topically, nix und nix. We shall not come to party at that lops, he decided, possibly, for he is not now socialist, nor to bars burial neither, and son sluggard, this old boar's yar belongs, there's a cull on the cat. Nevertheless, when he had safely looked up his ovipository, he lofted hails and prayed, may he me no void a water, seek it hat up, may no he me tile pig shed on, suck it hot up, as broad as Beppy's realm shall flourish, my reign shall flourish, as high as Heppy's heaven shall flourish, my hain shall hourish, shall grow, shall flourish, shall hourish, The aunt was a well-tall fellow, roomy built and able-boobied. Be near so altitudinous we a shelling in Kopfers. He was sae solemn and chairman-looking when he was not making spaces in his psyche, but louse when he wore making spaces on his Ike. He wear moosh, most sacred and moveringly wise chairman-looking. Now rim the silly billy of a grace hoper, and jingle through the jungle of love and debts, and jangle through the jumble of life, in doubts after was, wetting with the bimble beaks, stricking with the naughto necks, bilking with the doughy dungle lecks, and whoring after lady birdies. Ich ne'er mon, de Token. He felt just as sick as a sexton, and tanto pooveroo, quant a church prince, and where the mitches to wend himself or vosh to search for grub, for his corapos or to find a hostpops. Alec you must get it. Murco dry, fuco spint, sultamont osso bar, and volamundo ossi vidvid. Nichts, zuns nichts. Not one pickle peck of Moscow money to bag a tittle bits of bee bread. Eo meo, cricks corbucule, witcher plight, oh my bog. He contrited with melancholy, me blizzard him sluggard. I am heartily hungry. He had eaten all the wild paper, swallowed the lustres, devoured 40 flights of staircases, chewed up all the menses and zekels, runs the records, made munballs of the ephemerides, and warrior sewers most gluttonously with the time-place in the ternitory. Not too dusty, a cesada of nutriment for a chitinous. Chip so mighty, but when Chrysalmas was on the bare branches, off he went from ting so ming gent ting. He took a round stroll, and he took a stroll round, and he took a round stroll again, till the grillies in his head and the leavnets in his hair made him thought he had the Tosmania. He had twice cycled the seas of the deed, and traversed their revenue. Was he come to Hevra with his endgales, or gone to Hull with the poop? The June snows was flocking in thuckflues on the hegelstomes. A mention of Hegel there, and I messed it up, sorry. I continue. In thuckflues on the hegelstomes, millipedes of it, and myriapods, and the ugly whistling tornadoes, the borealis blow ha-blasting, tegel huts up to the tetties, and rooching sleets off the copy houses, playing rag now rock, rigna wreck, with an irritant, penetrant, siphonopterous spook, grouse opera. The grasshopper, who, though blind as a bat flea, yet you, not a lethal beetle, his good smelterling of entomology, aped Nessun timust lose nor lichens, but promptly tossed himself in the vico, thin and clear, on top of his buzzer, testily wondering where would his alight or bus of both the peas, and the next time he makes the acquaintance of the unt. After this they have met themselves, these musicals, summables. It shall be moto lucky if he will be beheld, not a world of difference. Beheld his gross, the unt prostrand voice upon his drone in his Papillonian babushkis, smolking a spatial brunt of Hosanna's sigils, with unshrinkables far falling from his unthinkables, swarming of himself in his sunny room, sating before his comfortable suppy of a plate or monkenus, and a confusion of mint, for he was a confirmed asceticist and aristotle, as happy as a waddy sucker or a basker boy on the libido, with Flo biting his leg thigh, and Loose lugging his luff leg, and Bienni bussing him under his bonnet, and Vaspitala blowing cosy fun tutties up the allabroad length of the large of his walls. As entomate as intimate could pinchably be, Emmet and Demmet and be jilts crazed, and be jades whipped. Sneezed the Gracehoper. A grape with pichail lassies, and that is Whittall's ince. What have I foresight? The aunt, that true and perfect host, Espita Aspinay, was making the greatest spas a body could do with his queens, lace winging, for he was spizzing all over him, like things so manything in former collation, boundlessly bliss-filled, in an ala bath of hurrays. He was amazing himself hugely at crab round and Mary pose, chasing Flo out of charity, and tickling Luz, I hope too, and tackling Beanie, Faith as well, and jucking Vespatilla ducally with by the chimish. Never did Dawson from Dunzanagan dance it with more devilry. The very pathetic imago of the impossible Gracehoper on his cope in the mire, after his thrice ephemeral journeys, sans mantis, ne shoo, featherweight animule, actually and presumptuously sanctifying. Chronic's despair was sufficiently and probably cuckoo, much for his chorus of gravitas. Let him be art alone that weeps with his parasites peeling off him. I'll be high feed the crack-cider, flunky footle furloughed fowl, writing off his phony, but conte calm, make the melody that mince. The money ad majorum, LSD, divi gloriam, a darkener of the threshold, halloo, orimus. Capsizer of his antipote, Seckers Reed, from evil it is, Lord of loaves in among dead. Be it, so be it, thou who thou art, the fleet as spindrift, imfang thee of mine, wide height, halloo. The thing pleased him, ant and ant. He laughed and he laughed, and he murmured such a noises. The Gracehoper feared he would misplace his forces. I forgive you, Grandon, said the Gracehoper, weeping. For their sooks of the sakes you are safe in whose keeping. Teach Flo and loose polkas, show Beanie wears sweet, and be sure Vespitali finds fat ones to heat. As I once played the piper, I must now pay the count. So say there to Mo Hamlet, and Mahaba to your mount. Let who likes lump above so what flies to be a full-un. I could not feel more groggy if this was from pollen. I pick up your reproof, the hoarse gift of a friend, for the prize of your save is the price of my spend. Can castors pull a deftic kiss, if old Pollux forsake 'em? Or Cullocks feel etchy, if Pullocks don't wake 'em? A locust to lure, a termit embrace. These twain are the twins, the tick homo vulgaris. Has Aquileo nought to wing to go sif? Since the griffin we were in his forest true brief, and that accident man not be seeked where his story ends, since Long's firing sighs sought hearts east for the Orients. We are waste not with want, precondamned to and true, till Nolans go volants, and brune eyes come blue, ere those gilt flirts now gadding, you quit your mocks for my gropes, and extents must impull, and elapse must elopes. Of my tech-tucks take stock, tink-tact and ales wheel, as I view by your far look, hail yourself to my heel. Part a prize my thin winds, whiles my blink points unbroken on. Your holes work abroad, put with touties, try to right token on. My invisible universe yowdly howd find, sulk oxtra be faunus meets soviel behind. Your feats are enormous, your volumes immense. May the graces I hoped for sing your ensembleship sense. Your genus its world wild, your spaces sublime. But holy Sal Martin, why can't you beat time? In the name of the former and of the latter and of the Holy Ghost, Amen. Now, how good you are in exposition, how far-flung is your folklore, and how well-tingling your vocabulary. Qui vive speranto, qua miora contanto, O foble, O flip, you've that wonder-vogel wail within. It falls easily upon the ear open and goes down the friskily shortest like trickling tum-tim, with its ting-ting-taggle, the blarniest blather in all Cornwall. But could you, of course, descent, leprechaun, we knew to change your name, of not your nation, while still in the barrel read the strange wote anecliptics of those Shem letters patent, for his Christian's M. Greek. Hand it to me, Sean replied, closely pointing to the cinnamon, quist-a-quill, behind his acoustrolobe.